it felt like as a coach, you always want your team learning. As we talked about, other games, you learn from them, and it felt like the game this past weekend was a real growth game for your team that you learned from previous games to secure the result. How did you view that game against the Red Bulls?
Yeah, we knew that it was going to be a tough game. All the games against Red Bulls are very physical, and you need to be on the same level or even more if you want to achieve a result. And I think it's not a coincidence that DC United wasn't able to win against the Red Bulls for 5 years. And at Audi Field is the very first time that DC United is able to keep the 3 points. So that says enough about the physicality, maybe the differences in style of play. And like I mentioned before, Red Bulls is playing this way already for a couple of years, also looking for profiles and players who are able to play that way. And it's always a tough game. So for us was a derby, and was a lot more important to keep the points based on a good fighting spirit than play good soccer like we did on all the rest of the home games we played.
We'll go back to Dave.
Again, as you just said, and that's what I was talking about, the growth, the way you managed the game, you had everything, chances, but you didn't give anything. And that has to be the continuation of your formula.
It's very important to don't give anything away, and at the same time create opportunities. In this team, the forwards are the first defenders, and the whole team is very committed with the defensive efforts and the collective. And I'm very pleased with all the efforts the guys are doing. Sometimes we need to compensate with all those efforts the fact that we are missing a lot of important players. And every time a player gets the opportunity, they are physically and mentally ready to perform. I always say it's very tough to play against DC United. That was one of our goals at the start of the season, that we can become an annoying team for the opponent, and especially playing at home. You want to protect the house, and we won the last 3 home games, and that's very, very important for the fans, but also for our confidence.
We'll go to Mario Amaya. Mario.
Hola Hernán, solo quiero preguntar, ¿cuál sería la estrategia entrando a este partido contra FC Cincinnati jugando en su nuevo estadio?
Bueno, la estrategia va a ser la de siempre. DC United juega por los 3 puntos, de local o de visitante, siempre tenemos la intención de ganar. Veremos, y una vez más vamos a tener que realizar varios cambios. Eso es algo que nos hace las cosas más difíciles todavía, el hecho de que no podemos mantener el 11 inicial debido a diferentes circunstancias. Así que bueno, eso le da nuevas oportunidades a otros chicos, y veremos de hacer lo máximo que podemos con las armas y los jugadores que tenemos disponibles en este momento, que no son muchos.
We'll go to Jeff Strauss.
Coach, another team that's kind of been a little bit maddening for DC United in the past has been Cincinnati. How do you go in and take on a team like that? What's the focus?
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Sure. Another team that's kind of been maddening for DC United is FC Cincinnati. They have a different style as well. How do you prepare for them, and what do you need to do to be successful against them?
Yeah, they have a coach who likes to play soccer, who likes to build up from behind. They have very good players up front that with an individual action can decide the game. So we need to be careful, like we always respect all the opponents, and we try to protect ourselves from their strengths and try to attack their weaknesses. Every game is a tough game, and in the MLS, when you see the results, everyone has the opportunity to take points against everyone, and it's about the form of the day, it's about the players you have available for that game, and it's about scoring the opportunities we can create. I think once again, especially on the road, you have to be efficient. on the chances you can create, and try to keep a solid organization like we did the last couple of games. But like you say, it's going to be a tough game. They have very good players up front especially, and we need to be careful with them the same way probably they're going to be careful with some of our players.
We'll go to Dave Johnson.
But finding a way to get that goal is that, as you said, the forward or the first defenders or forward players, is that first goal or the goal against Red Bull is a classic example of when you're defending first, you lead to a turnover and score a goal, that Gressel or Kamara. Is that the textbook example of it?
That's one of the ways we want to create opportunities and score goals. But this team already showed that it's capable of scoring from set pieces, scoring from building up from behind, scoring from open play, scoring in transition. It's depending the opponent, depending the type of formation the other team is playing, and we have different tactics, and the players are very open-minded to adapt, depending the opponent and depending the difficulty of the game. But what you mentioned is one of the ways that we want to create danger. Quick turnovers, first ball forward, and try to take profit of the disorganization of the team, of the opponent, when we recover the ball.
Last question, we'll go back to Dave.
Again, if you have any update on just the health, or obviously you've been struggling with injuries, and you mentioned adapting. You must be proud of the way your team has adapted, because we had trouble keeping track of all the substitutions last week. So that could not have been easy, but it worked.
Yes, no, it's not easy, but it tastes even better when you can take points in a difficult situation. And no, we're gonna lose Nigel Roberta for a few weeks. I don't know how long it's gonna take. Russell Canals is still injured. Adrian Perez and Brendan Heisack are out. Paul Arriola and Donovan still with the national team. I mean, I'm talking about very important players who play a lot of minutes for us, and that's it. We need to adapt, and we need to see what's the best for this game with the availability we have right now. Just try to do our best and stay positive. There is a very good vibe in the group, especially after winning this game, and now it's again a Saturday week. Is gonna be very tough. I mentioned before, from the next 5 games, we have 4 on the road, so maybe we're gonna have to make choices and maybe select in which game we go all in for the victory, and in which game we try to take a point. It's gonna be tough, but I believe in this group. I believe in the positive vibe we are building up right now, and I'm very positive. So let's move on and let's try to have a good result first on Saturday. First, what comes first, that's Cincinnati.